Why are troops stationed here at Union Station on the National Mall instead of areas in D.C. where crime is statistically highest?
Well, if you've ever been to Union Station in the last few years with your family, you know that crime is actually extremely high right here in Union Station. You have vagrants, you have drug addicts, you have the chronically homeless, you have the mentally ill who harass, who threaten violence, who attack families, and they've done it for far too long. This should be a monument to American greatness. This should be a place where you can come and share a meal or go shopping with your family. It should not be a place where parents of small children are afraid to bring them because, to Stephen's point, we have empowered criminals over the people who actually need public safety in the city. So I think Union Station is a great example of what's possible when you actually have the political willpower to bring
Why are troops stationed here at Union Station on the National Mall instead of areas in D.C. where crime is statistically highest?
Well, if you've ever been to Union Station in the last few years with your family, you know that crime is actually extremely high right here in Union Station. You have vagrants, you have drug addicts, you have the chronically homeless, you have the mentally ill who harass, who threaten violence, who attack families, and they've done it for far too long. This should be a monument to American greatness. This should be a place where you can come and share a meal or go shopping with your family. It should not be a place where parents of small children are afraid to bring them because, to Stephen's point, we have empowered criminals over the people who actually need public safety in the city. So I think Union Station is a great example of what's possible when you actually have the political willpower to bring law and order and common decency back to the public spaces of the United States of America.
Did you see that? Did you?
Yeah, don't worry, I didn't bugger it right from the start. Welcome to the Brews at 10. A very special Brews at 10 here on my left eye this evening. 5k sub special. Just gone over 5,000 subscribers earlier today. Around 5,020, I think, at the time of coming to you on stream. You're all welcome. I'm your host Lefty, and this is my left eye. Let's brew this thing. All is well on the technical front for now. But thank you for being here with me as we celebrate this milestone on the channel. Yeah, it's fantastic, incredible. 5,000, really can't believe it. around a year and a half after starting the channel. Thank you very much everybody for all of your support along the way. Speaking of people, who have we got in the chat? Nina Sadie was first in with a bang. And number one. Aaron Gray as well, great to see you. Thanks a lot for the coffees as well. I do appreciate that, it's been great to have a bit of a chat with you this week on the old Buy Me a Coffee. Kit's with us as well. Good evening to you. Morbius as well. JK's just jumped in also, and more to come. Okay, I'm glad you're all brewing well, people, by the looks of things. Quite a few different things to talk about on the channel on this stream tonight. I've got an update on the video that came out yesterday, thanks to everybody who's watched that and commented. Nicola, thank you very much. Yes, great to be celebrating 5k. Wow. Because it was only a matter of weeks ago that we got to 4k. The first 3 are the hardest. That's certainly true, so really I'm pleased with the progress in the last couple of months. It's not that long at all since we had the 4k special. Spoiler / disclaimer, the only thing that's special about it is I've got this unique background for the stream. Unfortunately, I don't have any special guests or anything. I don't have time to arrange that sort of thing on short notice. Yeah, got back earlier, opened up YouTube Studio, and there it was. So here we are. Please make sure you hit thumbs up on the stream, people. All of that business involving the pressing of buttons and sharing and... Hey everyone, check this live stream out. 5k sub special. Wow. Incrediballs. Doc Davies is in the house as well. There's one Doc in the house. And Guitar Guy. How you brewing? A special thanks to all the members on the channel, speaking of special stuff and things. This one's hot off the press. The very latest list, compiled around 15 minutes before I came on the stream. And we're still over the 100 mark as well, thanks for all the gifted memberships recently. People who've renewed. Renewing is important. That's where the growth comes. And you're in a good place, so even if you've been gifted a membership, please do consider renewing it a month later. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for all your support in getting to 104 members that we're currently on right now, as well as 5k. I'm just going to make that background a little smaller. We'll fit all the... there we go. That's a bit better. In fact, I may as well just wipe it full hog and get the chat on the screen. Let the people be seen. I'll just make a minor adjustment here. I'm not being picky, but you couldn't see all of the exclamation mark at the end of special. That'll do. Yes, and it's down to people like Kit, who's celebrating 13 months of membership. Great stuff. Over a year with the channel. It's been great to have you as well, Kit. Thanks for all your support and comments and everything along the way. Always great to see you. Solidarity. Let's big up Kit in the chat, people. Oh yes, we're in a celebratory mood, so... great to see you again, Kit. I suppose something else that's actually special about the special is tonight's comedy clip does come from a channel that's featured previously, only a couple of times, but it's actually a good friend of mine who has put this together as well. It's comedic, it's factual, it surrounds a fictional conversation about one of the topics that's going to be coming up on the stream. That is the protest on the 9th, which took place. Anyone who's watching who's new, there are 3 interview videos out at the moment featuring participants in that protest. So please do check them out. We've got Pete, Moshi and Alex who give their respective testimonies. Hedy and Flowsnake joining us. Thank you very much for the watermelons, as always. Where was I, apart from getting distracted? Of course, so it's Climate Lens is the channel I was just talking about. And we'll be kicking off with that in just a moment. Also to come, we got JD Vance's trip to Union Station to try to justify a very large military presence there. By the looks of the clips, he took a whole platoon with him, but he wasn't met with cheers and applause, quite the contrary, by the public. And there's some one particularly funny part that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. During him getting heckled by the public, but also ICE, the ICE, have been chased out of town again. Got the latest example of that. Of course, the latest updates on Gaza. And the Zara Sultana video, which I just mentioned earlier, so quite a beefy stream. Got a few other tidbits also. Just seeing what's going on in the chat. Looks like you're all pretty happy with the ongoing protests at the moment. And I see talk of a group coming together in an attempt to get Lammy out. Is that right? Well, he's leading the polls, his ever-shrinking course in Tottenham. Yeah, give us a few details on that. That would be great to see. Tottenham is going to be probably on the ones to watch list as we get towards the general election itself. But that could be a few year away yet. But just before we go into the comedy clip, people, hold the front frickin' page. Mobius in with an absolutely fantastic breaking news story. 50 bags of free topsoil at the weekend for your allotment. Well, you best use it while you can, Mobius, before the government come along and appropriate it. Oh, but that's good, 50 bags. Nice. And you get another 50 tomorrow. Great stuff. And what's also great is picking up new members, as we've just done. Aaron Gray, thank you very much for that. It's my pleasure to update the membership goal. That puts us on 105 on the way towards the target of 250. Everybody please welcome Aaron Gray to membership on the channel. Big up, big up. And may I say, brat. Guitar guy. Has anyone else had trouble finding the JD Vance parody guy? Do you mean Ross Childs? Oh, right, okay. Because it sounds a bit like Rothschild, I see. And just back to the breaking news story on the allotment and the topsoil. There's no clay. There's no clay in that stuff, and it really is top quality, which is great to hear. Premium grade topsoil. None of that clay shite. It's 100% pure. Right, let's kick off, people, with the opening clip from Climate Lens. This is my friend Paul. He's got a great channel, so go and check it out. He's also one of my fellow JSO supporters / action takers. So, when I find it, there it is. Yeah, if you've not been over to the channel yet, check it out. It's Climate Lens. Lens as in eye. Get it?
Right, Dave, what did you think about the Defend Our Juries action on Saturday the 9th of August 2025 that included 532 people getting arrested under the Terrorism Act for holding a sign, the largest mass arrest in UK history? For what? Holding a sign? Am I hearing you right? For holding a sign? For holding a sign? I'm afraid so, Dave. What the hell was on it? Yeah, I can't really say. Can't say out these days. Tell me about it. World's gone mad, innit? Yeah, technically it's the government that's gone mad, thinking they can prescribe a group as terrorists for damaging property, violence to property, not people, property owned by companies profiting from the ongoing genocide in Gaza, as these UK-based businesses sell weapons and parts to Israel that are used to hunt and kill innocent civilians, including blowing children apart. Jesus, sounds like our government are the ones complicit in genocide. They're the terrorists. Yep. So, Defend Our Juries are standing up to genocide by violently spray painting planes to shine a light on our government's involvement in crimes against humanity. No, Defend Our Juries are just showing support for the prescribed group who took the violent action to hurt buildings and a plane with paint by sitting peacefully holding a sign on the 9th of August 2025 in Parliament Square. Come on, will you just tell us what's on the sign? It said, "I oppose genocide, I support thine action." Whoa, so you can now get arrested for showing support for a group that is nasty to buildings, murder weapons and drones that have also been used to play crying baby sounds to lure Palestinian mothers out of their tents before shooting them dead. Yes, sadly if you oppose this you could be arrested and face up to 14 years in prison. Oh my god, I wish I could do something to help. Well, there is a second sitting, Dave, on Saturday the 6th of September 2025, where there will be over 1,000 people holding the same sign, but hopefully the government will see sense and unprescribe thine action before then.
Very good, very good. Just wind that back a bit. So that's coming up on September the 6th, of course. Good stuff from Climate Lens. Give that a share around as well, if you will, people. As the name of the channel might suggest, also does a lot of stuff about climate collapse and protest as well. Now, speaking of that upcoming demonstration, there will of course be exclusive footage and interviews coming on the channel. Hopefully be able to bring you that on Sunday the 7th of September. Guitar Guy, thanks for subbing to Climate Lens. Awesome stuff. Yeah, it's Climate Lens Film is the handle actually. There are just make sure that you subscribe to the right one. I'm not certain if there's a separate one that just has a film that he did on it, and perhaps another one where there are those sort of skits, but whichever one you see that sketch on, that's the main one. But you can check out the film as well if you want. Yeah, I'll whack that in the comments at the end of the stream for you. I thought the way he was censoring himself by rubbing the microphone was particularly good, and thus endeth the analysis. Right, let's get on to stories and things like that, people. This is a serious channel, all about politics, society, and environmental issues from a left-wing perspective. Sorry for the long silence there. I'm still making my mind up where we'll go to first, and I think we'll just nip over to the screen for a quick update on some UK politics before we go over to the States. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, good. Had a slight incident here. We introduced a new member to the Primate technical team. Unfortunately, the existing team got somewhat territorial. This turned out to be somewhat of a bad idea. Bit of a mess here in the studio, isn't it, Phil? So, yeah. It just took us a while to get it into the other room to keep it away from the IT primates. So prior to that, I was about to go into this. An update on the leadership race, the Green Party leadership race. But it seems by all accounts that it's Zach Polanski who's on his way to victory. So this is approval per party if they were to vote in the Green Party leadership, not that a lot of them will. However, and they've even gone so far in the graph as to make Zach Polanski represented by green, then Ramsey and Chowns is pink, people who don't know is grey, and people who wouldn't vote in black. Just make that a bit bigger because we'll go through parties. Overall, 38% would go for Polanski versus 31% who wouldn't vote. But most importantly, only 20% would go for Ramsey and Chowns, which is a significant overall margin of 18%. Is it not? So obviously, most people in the Greens would be voting in this leadership election. 49% of them currently, so around half the membership, would back Zach, but only 33% would go for Ramsey and Chowns. 8% still unsure, 10% aren't voting, 10% aren't voting in their own party leadership election. Bizarre. I joined this party. Why? Because I want more democracy in the country. Well, your party's having a leadership election. Well, I don't give a piss frig about voting. Go figure. You'd think that should be 0%. Anyway, Reform, obviously, overwhelmingly would not vote in the election, they say. But even still, 28% of those polled would go for Polanski versus 16% for Ramsey and Chowns. In Labour, it's almost similar split to the Green Party itself, with Polanski on 48% versus 26%. For the rest, I'm just going to do how he does compare to Ramsey and Chowns, because that's really what it comes down to. Tories 34 to 22, Lib Dems 43 to 26, others 47 to 7. What a margin that is. So it looks like it's all over bar the shouting, really. I'm pretty sure we do have perhaps one or two Green Party members watching live. If you can enlighten us on when the polling closes. The dates escape me at the moment, but it's not too far away. And as far as electioneering is concerned, it's Zach who's getting all of the plaudits at the moment, all of the attention, all of the spotlight as well. End of August. That's not far away at all. In fact, it's the bank holiday coming this weekend, is it not? Time flies. A good point there, Morbius. Reform are in a mess, and there's so much infighting with many of the supporters not finding them sufficiently racist, as it were. Oh, just quickly, on that note, just want to raise the story that's been in the news recently over this court ruling surrounding whether you can and can't use hotels to house migrants who are waiting the result of their asylum applications and so on and so forth. Court did rule that they should not be housed in hotels. The likes of Farage and Tice, of course, will take this as a massive win. However, where legislation is concerned, this isn't over. There are always appeals and other such things, but at the moment, that is quite worrying, because we've seen on occasion, and even recently, just how the far right will use the smallest of excuses to do some absolutely abhorrent things on the streets of our very country. So that's more or less that on the story. But I will end by saying and reminding people who haven't been made aware that you can, of course, get arrested for holding up one of those placards like the Defend Our Juries protesters did. But you can't get arrested for holding up a banner that literally says, "Kill them all and let God decide," that has a fucking skull on it. For anybody who's seen that picture of the police officer just in front of the banner, stood a few yards away looking to the side as though it wasn't there. It's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So on this 5k sub special, I don't think I'd be sticking my neck out too far to declare a prediction of Zach Polanski for next leader of the Green Party in the United Kingdom. Preemptive congratulations, Zach. But still days to go. You never know. It could come out in 2 days, you might see the headline. And shocking revelation, it turns out that Zach Polanski is artificially is AI created. No one's ever actually met him. Turns out, we've all been hoodwinked. No. That wasn't a genuine prediction, by the way. I'm going to go through the Kneecap thing just as we get into Gaza in a little. I think we'll actually take a quick trip over to the States now. But Doc, you think an AI leader is on the way? You think that could be coming down the road? I think they're robotic enough as it is, to be honest. Look at Starmer and Reeves especially. Sausages, you know. What was that? What are we doing? Okay, to the States and Vance. Here's one clip of him walking around Union Station, which, as I said, has got under a extremely increased military presence, and he's gone there to attempt to justify this. Of course, blaming the crime and poverty that the capitalist system he loves so much created in the first place, but I'll get into more about that in the narrative as we get through the clips. First of all, here, and I've got a couple of clips of this, but in both of them it's, if you'll forgive me, the very American heckles, if you can put it that way. But enough of my yakking, you can see for yourself. The get out of here bit really was. Let's just take a quick look at that again, because I'll skip through. I think that was when he was on his way in or making his way through. I'm just sort of paying attention to the response from the authorities here. You can see members of the military there already. I think in that shot where I've paused it, can see another two in the background. At least. This is in a busy station. It gets worse. Let's go to the press conference that he might have been on his way to in that clip, but the protest is so overwhelming you can hear it in the background. It's drowning him out at points, and he's still trying to put across his bullshit reasons for having the military there, whilst literally surrounded by them. It's like the sardines in there. He took an entire friggin' platoon with him.
Why are troops stationed here at Union Station on the National Mall instead of areas in D.C. where crime is statistically highest?
Well, if you've ever been to Union Station in the last few years with your family, you know that crime is actually extremely high right here in Union Station. You have vagrants, you have drug addicts, you have the...
I even heard Donald Trump's been there.
Chronically homeless, you have the mentally ill who harass, who threaten violence, who attack families, and they've done
those
it
criminals.
for far too long. This should be a monument to American greatness. This should be a place where you can come and share a meal or go shopping with your family. It should not be a place where...
Maybe the smell of gunpowder might put you off your food. I'm not sure. It's not really great optics when there's someone with a semi-automatic weapon on every corner and walking up and down the concourses of the station, for example. It doesn't create a relaxing atmosphere where you might go to spend some leisure time or hang around if you're commuting or a tourist or anything in East, you know. So you go into whatever coffee franchise at the station and you order whatever you have, and then, would you like some bullets with that? You know, is that where we're at? It just... it boggles me how they think it doesn't look like exactly what it is, which is increasing authoritarianism. But more on that in a bit.
Parents of small children are afraid to bring them because, to Stephen's point, we've empowered criminals over the people. who actually need public safety in the city. So I think Union Station is a great example of what's possible when you actually have the political willpower to bring law and order and common decency back to the public spaces of the United States of America.
Law and order and common decency. There is but one man above J.D. Vance in office. This is the Vice President of the entire of North America and Alaska and Hawaii. And maybe you should take a look at his superior's rap sheet if he's concerned about law and order and common decency. Was it? Because decency is one thing that's lacking from the White House. Pure hypocrisy. Like I said, the things he mentioned, vagrancy is how he put it, but homelessness, to give it its proper title. This is a situation that the very system he supports has created and swears by. And believe me when I say that in some of the best known places in America, they don't resemble the postcards and the classic images that we're used to. San Francisco, California, for example, you might probably think of iconic shots of the bridge, but there are shanty towns as far as you can see, people living in tent villages. That's the real America, and it's not exclusive to San Francisco either. A lot of areas that are suffering right now are still feeling the after effects of Hurricane Katrina, which was years ago. Things haven't improved since then, and they've only gotten worse. Law and order and common decency. Thanks for letting me know that the on-screen chat was a bit frozen there, Flo. Do appreciate that heads up. I've only got one left eye and one right eye. Just be very clear, don't have a channel with that title. I meant on my face. There's more though. There's more shite hawkery from Vance.
Some violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids.
Violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids. Again, just maybe refer to Trump.
With a few crazy liberals who are screaming at the vice president, but I think that's a very worthwhile trade to make because we want our people to be able to enjoy our beautiful...
Try and work out from the faces of the actual soldiers who are stood behind him whether they're saying to themselves, why the fuck are we here? This is a complete waste of our time and our resources. Yes, US military spending is a large portion of their budget, especially relative to us here in the UK. But is this what, you know, surely this is a civil matter for the police. If he's talking about petty crime, let's be honest, and homelessness, why do they need the army to deal with that? Surely the police force, if anybody is going to deal with this, is it a phony show of strength, visual deterrent? And I ask these questions because I'm worried about one thing in particular, because no offence to any Americans who are watching, but this is the United States of America that we're talking about here. It's going to take one incident that might happen, and I should point out, I'm not saying that I have any kind of knowledge of anything that might be coming up. But some sort of incident where a air quotes ne'er-do-well might get gunned down by one of these soldiers in some sort of incident, and then it's oh, it works. And whether that may or might not be set up or manufactured, I'd let you decide. But there are a lot of people who think that Trump's already let 2 people get shot at a rally so that he could become president, so there's some things that you just wouldn't put past him, really. I'm just reading through the chat as well here. Aaron Gray, yeah, good point. There's no safety nets. Well, they certainly want to remove as many as there are or were. Just back to it being their system that's created the poverty, that's created the homelessness, and then all they do is complain that they don't look good. That's not something that they like to see.
Cities. And the last thing I'll say is to the American people, D.C. is already safer than it was 9 days ago, but we're going to make it safer still to come. This is your city. You should feel free to come and visit here, have a meal, see all these incredible monuments, and actually enjoy yourself. And that's what we're trying to make happen. And I think that if we set a standard in Washington, D.C., that political willpower can bring some common sense, law and order back to these communities, then maybe some other communities and other cities will follow suit. So it's kind of crazy. You hear these guys outside. They appear to hate the idea that Americans can enjoy their communities, and they do the fact that D.C. a week ago had a higher murder rate than Trinidad and Tobago, which the United States State Department has said you shouldn't visit because it's unsafe.
The first thing they'll always do as well is make up something about what they claim that their critics hate. Such as such. Oh, why do you hate freedom? You might criticise Israel. They'll say, oh, that means you hate this religion. It's just so bogus and fake. I mean, look at them. It's wall-to-wall soldiers in there. But they don't have anything better to do, apparently.
We ought to be able to enjoy great American cities. That's what we're trying to do in the Trump administration.
Oof, no. They're going down. So then he left, and there was more heckling. This one's really good. If you've not seen this one, listen very closely from the start as well. And again, just to say it is somewhat American, the way it's done, but in a good, it's good.
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker!
Did you get that? Just do it again.
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker!
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker! Hey, Couch Fucker!
You gonna fuck a couch, buddy?
You gonna fuck a couch, buddy? That's great.
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker! You gonna fuck a couch, buddy?
Right here. Do not go past this.
There's another Ohio! This is my president. Listen, Lord! You go fuck the couch! Go fuck the couch, JD Vance! Go fuck the couch!
Couchy fornication, indeed, Flo. Oh, just once more. Why the hell not?
Oh look! It's Couch Fucker! You gonna fuck a couch, buddy?
Right here. Do not go past this.
There's another Ohio! This is my president.
Oh, they love him. They love him there in DC. Absolutely. And that wasn't mixed cheers and people heckling. That was pure booze and go fuck a couch. Oh. So you do it, people. Music. Alright people, one more bit from the States. Just have to remind you to make sure that you've hit thumbs up on the stream. Give us a share around your social media. If you're not subscribed, please do so. You can join others in the chat just 60 seconds later if you're watching live. Super chats are open as well as super thanks for anybody watching back later on. There's also a Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll find a link to that in the description for this stream and for the channel. I did actually hear that rumour flow, Snake. I might have started it as well, so... So far, so good. That's so far, so good. Thank you. $5K sub special here on the Brews at 10 on my left eye. Let's get on to this final story from America. Something we do like to see is the ICE being chased out of town. Again, this is in DC. It looks as though they've showed up at some sort of eatery to attempt to render someone, probably because they once walked past a Mexican restaurant. So that qualifies. They're being rendered. They're in the back of the van.
He's being rendered! He's being rendered!
But there was a massive turnout from the public and they were having none of it. So the the ICE, oh, no, it wasn't the International Criminal Court. It's ICE, baby. Got run out of town. Just having a... Let's try again. Okay. Thought it might be third time lucky. Just one sec, people. was hundreds of people there. The whole community has come out and they just get back in their vehicles. And off they go. So that was in Washington DC, as I said. Sorry about the brief delay there before vid. Excuse me. Right, I just want to go through a couple of articles here and then on to the latest from Gaza itself. But first of all, well, there was supposed to be a hearing today, but it's been delayed. That's more Cara from Kneecap. Let's see what's happening. So he's been charged after allegedly displaying a flag in support of Hezbollah at a London gig last year. But the decision whether he'll stand trial has been postponed. He told the gathered crowd outside after the appearance that the case was a distraction from what was happening in Gaza. We know this story is more than just about me and more than Kneecap. This is a story about Palestine and us as a distraction from the real story. Which is true. And I do know there was a good turnout again, as you can see. I know a few people who went down there to show support. So the decision is going to be on the 26th of September instead. Now, bearing in mind, it may have travelled all the way over. They could have maybe just sent him an email, rang his solicitor, I don't know. Whatever they could have done, but that's frustrating. So it's a complete farce, by the looks of it. As the rapper arrived at court, a large crowd gathered outside with supporters holding signs which read "Free More Cara," while others waved Palestine and Irish flags before the rapper's arrival. The other band members joined him. So this was at Westminster Magistrates. So I was hoping to bring you an update, but that is in fact all that's happened. But like Mo said though, you can't let that distract from the real issue, which is what we're going to take a look at next. The latest news, bearing in mind that we're still waiting on the response from Israel over the ceasefire proposal. It's been agreed to by Hamas, but Israel are yet to respond. Now, you could say that they're responding not with words but with actions, as apparently a large number of reservists have been called up to carry out the offensive in Gaza City, which began a few days ago. Israel, of course, tried to completely finish off anything that's left of these small pockets, starting with Gaza City, and 60,000. So you'll have regulars plus 60,000 reservists. I did this the other day on a stream. I'm gonna skim through this article and let's just see how many times the word illegal pops up, because it's not there in the headline. Offensive is the word that they've chosen to use, as though Palestine have an army to defend themselves with. But it's not an offensive, it's obviously an occupation and is obviously illegal.
Which makes you a murderer, don't it?
Military officials said the reservists would report for duty in September and that most of the troops mobilised for the offensive would be active duty personnel. They added that troops were already operating in the Zaytoun and Jabalia areas as a part of the preparations for the plan, which Israel Katz approved on Tuesday. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza City are expected to be ordered to evacuate to head to shelters in southern Gaza. Under what authority? Under what authority? Israel certainly doesn't have the right to issue orders to the civilians of Gaza. And what they mean to report is that they're going to be violently herded out. And of course several will be killed and injured as they do so, because that's all that's happened for the last 2 years. Emmanuel Macron of France has said that this can only lead to disaster for both peoples and risks plunging the entire region into a cycle of permanent war. Of course, France recently announced that they will be recognising the Palestinian state without any ludicrous caveats, conditions, such as Starmer did. The International Committee of the Red Cross, meanwhile, said further displacement and an intensification of hostilities risk worsening an already catastrophic situation for Gaza's 2.1 million population. Israel's government announced its intention, and that's where the word illegal should be as well, announced its illegal intention to conquer the entire Gaza Strip after indirect talks with Hamas on a ceasefire and hostage release deal broke down last month. Well, does this really seem like they're up for a ceasefire? I don't know about you people, but when I'm in the mood for calling for peace and a ceasefire, I call up 60,000 reservists. And why is that, you might ask? Well, there is a perfectly good and valid reason for that, and I'll tell you what it is right now. It's Oh, I dropped my pen. Oh, I dropped the pen. Just. Oh, so. What were we talking about? I forgot. Oh, the reason is that they feel left out. They just feel left out. So called up 60,000 of them, just so they wouldn't get, you know, FOMO. They at least got called up, you know, and then they can, you know, go back to town and at the bar and, yeah, I got called up, you know. Got called up. Yeah, I was, yeah. Didn't quite, you know, snipe a child from half a mile away. But got the call up, you know, they'll brag about that. Maybe on the TikToks, maybe on their Instagrams, who knows, because that's where they like to brag about all the other evil crap that they do. So my level of optimism for a ceasefire, unfortunately, realistically, remains low. Like I said, that's just going off of track record. At this time it does appear to be playing out as we've seen so many times before. Look at that barren, ruinous landscape. That was taken 3 days ago, that picture. Now you could see the IDF vehicles mixed in there. More residential buildings. 90% of them have gone. And the world is sitting on its hands, people. Atrocious. Thank you very much for the Palestine flags in the chat, as always. Much appreciated. In fact, let's see them right now. Just refresh that again. Sorry for the lags and some of the tech breakdowns this evening, people. Okay, moving on, people. What else did we have here? Oh, yes. I should have pointed this out after the Kneecap thing, because it's another court case. But I did want to bring this to your attention. Check this out, people. Obviously, Kneecap mostly made the headlines today. But led by donkeys, you know, who do the stunts with the projectors and things like this, and the screens on the back of vans and such. And they were the ones who once did that really good lettuce reveal whilst Liz Truss was, well, she was set up in what was... it was a real interview, but they'd set it up where partway through a curtain Was it a curtain came up? Or did it? No, the lettuce came down from the ceiling, was it? Good stuff. Yeah, but they've been on trial. Yes. Not for that lettuce thing, for something else. It was for hanging a banner opposite Labour headquarters. And they pled not guilty. There's going to be a trial in January of next year, in 2026. So that's a huge banner there on some conveniently placed scaffolding across the road from Labour HQ. And of course you see some of the scenes that we just saw in that article. Buildings laid to waste. And in the corner it says, protesting this isn't terrorism. That's terrorism. What's wrong with that? It's the, well, that's pretty meta, isn't it? I'd be interested to know if it's a jury trial or not, or whether it will be a judge, because I seriously don't think, I don't know. If you're talking about whether there's a jury in the world, would class that as whatever it's being charged as. Shows how backed up the system is as well. January 2026. And that's something I just wanted to bring to your attention. Didn't want to let that one slip by. Let's see what's going on in the chat, people. Aaron, I do know the clip that you mean. I could play it on a future stream, but I'm just running a bit short this evening. Also, I've got... I don't want to risk another crash by uploading another clip into the proceedings. Have used it previously though. I do have a Tony Benn meme, if that will suffice, for on the way out. But yeah, I'll make a note of that one. Hopefully I can squeeze that one into another stream this week. Free the lettuce, says Tuck Davies. Yeah. The original lettuce is probably in a very rotten, decomposed state at the moment, but it's probably still in a better state than Liz Truss's career. Huh? Huh? A good point there, Politics Clive. A leftist stream without tech breakdowns would be, air quotes, centrist. But we on this channel, of course, know that anyone who describes himself as a centrist or a moderate, such centre ground, whatever, really they're just a Tory or they're a Lib Dem, but they just don't want to say so. When it boils down to the serious matters, they'll go against socialism and always side with the right. And that's not just a theory. Let's check the chat's all up to date on your screens as well. Yeah, it still is. Don't want to jinx myself, but we are coming towards the end of the stream, as I said. A bit of a shorter one this evening. I just wanted to celebrate the 5,000 subs and update you on a few stories. The final one of which is a quick update on Zara Sultana. The video that came out yesterday, I do want to say I may have incorrectly said something in the comments to a few people. Just want to address that and correct that. It turns out it wasn't from an original source, but news that the offended party had apologised, deleted the tweet and made a donation to Gaza charity appeared to be unconfirmed. It looks as though this tweet that was being circulated wasn't confirmed. Someone could have edited it, photoshopped, AI, whatever. So apologies to the few people who I might have mentioned that to in the comments. So the latest on the situation, just to confirm, it appears that he hasn't apologised or made the donation. There was another rumour circulating that his entire Twitter page, that's Oliver Cam by the way, who I'm referring to, had gone fully private, blocked everybody out. But that appears not to be true, because I've not seen any mention of it since what was reported on the video on either Zara Sultana's Twitter page or Oliver Cam's, other than that Cam has mentioned poking his head out and something about a bunch of and then he calls other people AS as he does so. So apologies. I did think that was a genuine tweet that was circulating about the apology and whatnot, but alas not. But alas so, we have another gifted membership. Thank you very much for that, Morbius. Takes us to 106. Bullseye, Ian McKenna, the recipient there. Great stuff, nice shot there, Morbius. Let's big up more in the chat, please, everybody. So I guess a final point on that Zara Sultana debacle, or exchange, whatever you want to call it. It does look like she could still be in a position to take him to court over what he posted about her. And we have Nicola Curtin as well, with the gifted membership. Welcome on board. Great stuff, Nicola. 107. Big up, big up. Nice one. Always good to have some Scots in the mix with the Brew Crew. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Nicola. Just double checking my bookmarks, but I think that was more or less everything that I had for tonight in terms of stories. Indeed it was. So whilst I'm looking for a channel to read into, I'll say thank you very much to all the members again. I'll be adding Nicola and other names to the list. Let's just get rid of the pop-out chat there. Great stuff, yeah, now on 107. It may be a little late in the stream to say that if you did join me wondering why there isn't a PMQs, it's because there wasn't a PMQs. Just to explain that one as well. Still on summer break. Even. Thanks again, members. Really do appreciate all of the support. Speaking of support, let's pay that forward and go and support another channel. Who do we have live? We've got a selection. But we will go with No Justice. Okay, that's all set up, so we're raiding into Helena at No Justice in just a few moments. Please do join me there, but if you're watching back on a replay, take care, whatever you're doing with the rest of your day or evening. I'll see you on a stream later in the week. Free Palestine and power to the people. And that's good advice from Guitar Guy 80 before we go. Seeing you soon.
Socialists